Hi.
Thank you for doing this interview with us. Well, we are interested in you as an activist, as an academic, as an intellectual, as a woman. Today is the Women's Day. So maybe you could tell us what are some of the main moments of your life that changed the way you look at society or look at life, or make you rather alternative?
Oh, well, I think it might have to go back to my student life. I mean, I did my bachelor degree in Thammasat University at the Faculty of Political Science, which is like more than 30 years ago. When I did my BA, you know, the year that I went into Thammasat University, which is the 1979, so this is quite long time ago. When I first get into the university in Thammasat at that time, it was the final year of the students who have the experience in the October 6 massacre in 1976. So basically, I have the first-hand experience to talk to the people who already went to the process or faced the experience of the October 6 in terms of the massacre. And also in 1980, which is 1 year after that, we have a chance to talk to the students like Professor Thongchai Vinijakul and also others who have already been released from prison. I mean, he and also other colleagues, I mean students, were arrested right on the October 6, 1976. But the person that inspired me, not the big person or not academic. Actually, when I entered into the university, I was with the drama club. So I'm a member of the drama club of the Thammasat University. And we have a chance to talk to two actors. The first one, actually he's graduated from Beijing. He's now working with the Chinese opera. He was the one who taught me when I went into the drama club that what should I perform, something like that in the Chinese opera. His name is Virod Tangwanit. So we call him the brother, even though he's like the transgender now. And so he's inspired me, because for him, not only today is the Women's Day, so it's not only women, right? For me, we can talk about transgender. So for him, it's quite tough, as those who are transgender or homosexual, to be in the prison at the time. But he is very, I mean, in my opinion, very inspired me. So even though when we talk about drama club, we just think that they just singing, doing performance. So this is the first one that I have a chance to be dealing with. The other one is also in the drama club, is that he was the one who also right now become a photographer. So we meet and talk with him about we didn't talk much because, you know, in 1979 it's still very tough situation. And we have a lot of things to talk. So basically, in Thammasat at that time, they allow the student to have we have the issue talking with each other. So basically, in the drama club, we do something training also, because we have to do how to write the screenplay. And also for me as a young junior who just come, we just tell okay, what do we do, how to do that, and also at night or in the evening after finish the class, and also after finish this kind of performance art, we talk okay, can tell us what happened to the story. And I think it's very interesting for Thammasat at the time that they did it in a play. So for me, I did not expect myself actually to be an academic, because in my for 4 years for 4 years in Thammasat University. Basically, I'm with the drama club and also writing a kind of the storyboards or screenplay. I should have been in like a play group or doing like a copywriter, not going to the academic field. And Ajahn Virod, who is like inspired me, he's very good in English. So he was the one who also do the tutoring English of our students who are activists. So for us, we are not only like doing activist work, but also for like the English exam and also other, we also have that like kind of the process, and it's go like for the whole university. So for me, this is quite interesting life in my university time, that it's not only going to study in Thammasat University at the faculty of the political science, but outside the university of the faculty of political science. That's why we learn. So we do so many things like not only writing the play, and also visit the people in order to get like an inspiration to write that. So and for me, I'm working with this with the drama club. And for my second year, the interesting part is that for my second year of my university life, my faculty need to form like a student union. I mean, the student union in Thammasat, they have two levels. One is at the university level, and the drama club is a member as the activity of the university union as the university level. But in each faculty, we also have a kind like activist work. And if you remember, this is a 1979, so 1980. So it's quite like a very strong, what you call fierce fighting or competition, because Faculty of Political Science has been trained to work with the Ministry of Interior. So we will get the person who are now become friends of us as well, that who will be trained to be like working in the Ministry of Interior. So they feel that we are quite too much leftist at the time, and for us it's a big competition for the student union at the faculty level. So I was asked to help the faculty union as a faculty for the student union on the, we use the word culture. So basically I also have to work with them and during my second year and work with the student union at the faculty level, and also change the work from the university level to be the faculty level. And at the faculty level, they have various things that different. For instance, you also have to deal with those who have the inspiration to work with the Ministry of Interior, who hope to be a governor in the future, and how are you interpret with like the political situation in Thailand at that time. At that time, we don't have the prime minister still not come from the direct election, something like that. At that time, we also have a lot of the situation that have to deal with and talk with. So it's quite interesting and inspire me. So it's two things that change me. So basically, the thing that changed me not by reading the books, but by the direct experience, to talk with the person who already come before my time, and also to talk to the villager, farmer. We have to go to the worker, which is in the Auyeung Lai Seung, Noi, which is in Nakhon Pathom, because we have to teach them how to write, like to do the play. So we work with them or something like that. So this is a kind of direct experience. Not only we doing with them, but we learn from them. And for me, this is a kind like the inspiring. So if you ask me about like what kind of my activity, you will know that I'm not the academic type of person. I'm the one who working with the person who doing the play, and also some doing a music or musician, something like that. And many of us still like keep contact. We still see each other even up until now, even though they already go to different kind of the walk of life.
What made you become an academic instead of a playwright or an actress?
Maybe political situation. Because after I'm graduate my bachelor degree in Thammasat University, I continue to do my MA in Chulalongkorn University. And when I finished the coursework, my professor asked me like, am I interested to work with the parliament? So I was the one who become like the assistant to the member of the parliament because in the past the Thai government and the Thai public at that time doesn't see that the member of the parliament need to have a staff. So basically because we are under like a so-called bureaucratic polity, so the member of the parliament they just like become like the local business person who coming to the parliament, but when they have to do like propose the motion or vote of no confidence or drafting the law, basically in the past they have to ask like the bureaucracy in the parliament to help them drafting. So they have an idea from some kind of the political professor to propose that why don't we follow, maybe they have the kind of, this is a funding from the USAID at that time. At that time is like a call the Asia Foundation. So it's come as a pilot project that we should get like a graduate student who finished bachelor degree to be the first assistant to the to be assistant of the member of the parliament, and in the past it don't go to the government budget. It's come like in the development intervention in terms of democracy. So the organization, political organizations such as the Konrad Adenauer in the German or Friedrich Ebert Stiftung or even Asia Foundation, they come out with a kind of project to fund the people to work with the member of the parliament. So I did it with the member of parliament, and I think she's now already been retired, Kun Ying Supatra Masdit. I think she was the one who also went to the Beijing, the Beijing Convention for the women. This is also, I worked with her for 1 year during at that time. And after working, it's not only me, they have around 11 persons. So they right now, those who work with them as a pilot project already going to a different field, including become the member of parliament or joining other, but I'm not that kind of person. But it's also give me experience to understand not only the meaning of democracy. Even though I'm in Thammasat University, we're talking about democracy, but we never see for them in terms of how the system function, even though it's come from the mainstream concept. But to work with the member of the parliament, so we see that how they work and how inadequate or how the public should help them. I don't know whether this kind of get like a policy staff or the staff to help them in terms of finding information still have it or not. But at that time it's a kind like we have to, when we draft the motion or draft the law, at that time they have the law about that to protect the children or the women from sex trafficking. So we have to decide like supposed to be 15 year, 13 year or what year that we should be able to talk it out. Yeah. One thing that is come out is that before that, those who will face like the person of victim of traffic, they put the children like 13, and we argue that no, it's not because in that case, the girl who are 15 or 18, they will also face that kind of the problem. So we change the idea to be 15 and then the idea to be 18, something like that. So it's kind of a good experience for me to work with a member of the parliament on the issue. And after that, I also come out to work with the advisor to the Prime Minister. So and that's also linked with my professor, Dr. Ajahn Kraisak Chunhawan. He is a son of Prime Minister Chachai Chunhawan. So Chachai was the kind of the first Prime Minister that come from election after a very long period of the coup d'etat, and I mean with the General Premtin Sulanon, which is quite ironic, right? 2015, you are still asking people, right, General Prem in the 1980s, and thinking that the Prime Minister who does not come from election will be better. But I mean, I'm in the period that try to help those who come from the election to be able to function. So we work with them as the policy staff. So this is my experience to work with the Ajahn Kraisak and also other members on the social issue. And that also put me to know about the Pak Mun Dam, because at that time they have 3 proposed dams coming to the government. The Namchon Dam in Kanchanaburi, which is a main conservation area and now become like a heritage. The second dam is in the southern, which is called Kangkrung Dam in Surat Thani, and it's come out after the first dam, and they will have an issue of like an endangered species and also the problem with the wildlife. The third one is a Pak Mun Dam, and it's also give me a big lesson later. I mean, at that time we just see that, okay, under the politics of negotiation, shall we leave one rather than try to against every dam? And at that time we have to admit that even the member of the, I mean, policy advisor to the Prime Minister, we have very few knowledge about the river ecology. We have more knowledge on the ecology at the conservation zones. We have the knowledge about how it will affect the forest area, how it will affect the wildlife. So that's why the General Chachai government agree to pass, agree with ICAT, allow them to start studying of the Pak Mun Dam. And at that time, they have the people like Vanida Tantivitya Pitak who come and saying that, do you think that this is a kind of the problem, something like that? But at that time, even me and also her, we didn't look at the issue of the, I mean, from the environmental perspective at that time. We didn't understand or see about the issue of the river or the ecology and fish species, because very few people study that in Thailand. I think maybe even now in the world, but to the dam that will be happen in Mekong is also make me to remind that what happened at that time. At that time, the concern will be on compensation. How much you should compensation to the farmer who live around the river, and then the ICAT say that they will put the reservoir on the water. So in that case, the water will not be overflow to the people who live around the river. So in that case, it will be minimize the impact, or the mitigation will be okay. So we just like do not understand and pass it. But later, I think like 20 years already, we know that what we have been done. And I think if you look at me or Ajahn Kraisak or other person, we also learn about the mistake. But the problem is that those who had been affected is not us from the middle class, but actually from the villagers. So we also learn, I mean, make me to be more environmentalist, actually, right? From the socialists and democratic activists to be more environmentalists. And I make me to be in academic at the end, because I was working with the office of the Prime Minister until the coup on the 23rd of February. I was in the office, which is on Sunday coup, we use the word, not Sunday, Saturday coup is on Saturday. I stay overnight on Friday night, because on Saturday we supposed to have like the play with the urban poor at the slum group. So we think it that, okay, we are not going to go home, so let's do some finish the work and be and doing at the in the office of the Prime Minister. And because at that time I'm still writing my MA thesis with Chulalongkorn, so I make use at the night time to writing my thesis. And then around 5 a.m. in the morning, we got the telephone call from friends who are the journalists saying that, do you know they have the military I mean, tank is moving. So do you think that what will happen? Like we get the news at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., something like that. At that time, we still think that, oh, it should not be okay because Chachai was a former general, so and it will be should not be any more cool, right? After 10 years, something like that. And then in the morning, around 7 a.m., we see the tank, which is a circle around the office, which is called Ban Pisanulok. So we just say what we should do. We cannot go out because they have the tank outside. So at that time, I think it's around 7 persons. So we stay there in the house and wait for the military, who I think he's like the captain level, come in and do the interview. Kind of, he have the. At that time, it's not the social online. We are not going to the digital world, so they have the typewriter. So they have the typer. So he just sitting in front of us like one by one. So we will interview, give them the name, the ID card. I like to go back to my life. I mean, as I told you, like I'm with the drama club, and also study like the activist, the real social activist in my bachelor degree. And after finish my bachelor degree, I should, go on to do something else. But since, as I told you, that I went to do my MA in Chulalongkorn and have a chance to work with a member of the parliament. So when I decided to, at that time is in 1989, I have to submit my thesis and also try to think what should be about my life. But just by chance, at that time, my professor that I know during we call the political economy study group, and one of the member, they are like a former Marxist, Chunhawan, who become the son of the former Prime Minister Chachai Chunhawan. And at that time, Chachai Chunhawan was going to be the Prime Minister, the first elected Prime Minister. So Kraisak asked me and also other friends to help him and to help his father. So in our opinion at that time, we are joking like it's a big reconcile between former leftists to help the the Prime Minister who are former general to work as a elected Prime Minister. So I agreed to work with him, which is that was in 1989. So in 1989, the work at the advisory council of the Prime Minister. So they come like an advisor to the Prime Minister, and they have the staff. So we become the political staff. We have to do like a documentary research. And for me, since I have some kind of the activist background, I also do some interview or invite the people to talk and give the information to the advisor, and become like the policy knowledge or something like that. And the thing that I learned at that time in the 1989 is the issue of the Pak Moon case, because they have some kind of the purpose of the three dam, and 2 dams that we disagree, which is quite clear on the Namjon Dam and on the Kangkung Dam. But the Pak Moon at that time, we have very few information about the river ecology. So we thought that the issue will be on the compensation. But since the ICAS will do the runoff river dam, and also the reservoir will be in the river, the Moon River. So we thought that the impact of the ecology will be less. But later, now this is 20 years already, we know that we should have changed or the understanding about the riverine ecology was very limited in Thailand. And we never understand the issue, the link between fish migration and the impact of the river ecology. And I think this is the thing that I learned a lot, apart from the movement of the anti-dam movement of the Pak Moon people, because for them, we understand that they are farmers. So as long as the dam was not flooded over their land, it should be okay. But no, they are not farmers. They are multiple livelihood. They are fisher and farmer, and when they cannot farm because of the soil, they have to do fishing. And since the dam is blocked the fish migration, so then we already destroy, the dam has already destroyed their livelihoods as a fisher folk. So this is the thing that we learn, and many people are saying that this is the sin that you committed at that time, and now you have to work and pay back and work about this. But why I go to the university as a lecturer? It's come out on the Saturday morning on the 23rd of February 1991. We got the telephone call from my friend who are the media saying that do we know that they have like the military tank has come out of their barricade. And at that time I was in the office at the Ban Pisanulok, because even though it's on Saturday, because I try to finish my thesis so that I can enjoy to see the play of the urban poor. At that time we didn't take it on seriously. We think that it should be no problem because the General Chachai was a former military and he already get like a general, another former general to work with that. But then we found out that we too naive, because at 8 o'clock we see the tank. When we fully get up, we see that the military tank surrounded of the office of the Ban Pisanulok at the advisor, Prime Minister advisor. And we were trapped in the house, not exactly house arrest, but can say that you cannot go out. Because how you can go, when you go you will see the military in the tank, and at that time it's still unclear. One thing that I learned about the Thai military is that when they did a coup, they will put the handkerchief on the left hand, they put the blue color. And I asked the question later because they're not quite sure whether they will have any counter coup or not. So they want to make sure that their coup is success. So on the first day, people cannot move, including me. We sit inside the house, see the news, see the television, get something to eat, or something like that. And I mean, people keep calling, saying that, shall we come in and take you out? People like Ajahn Sanay Jamarik and other people who have the meeting in Jula have an issue that how to take me and other Ajahn Paisit who also teaching in Chiang Mai right now to get them out. So how to do it? And I said, well, I don't know how to go out. But anyway, we just like maybe so young and naive, still relaxing and saying that until like 3 p.m. the military come in and also found out that we are sitting around 10 people inside and interview one by one. It's like an interrogation, but not so serious like in the movie, no. He just come with the tape recorder, very old style, because we are not at the digital world in 1991, and type all the information. So I show my ID card, asking who am I and what do I work at the Prime Minister, how do we connecting. So for me, I just tell them that I'm a clerk. I'm just doing admin work, not any policy kind of thing. So seem to be normal. And then after finishing as all of this, so they just let us sitting. And we just are asking like when we can go out. They said that they have to wait, something like that. And then one of my friends, she just come with her niece, around I think 5 years old. So why most of the intellectual and activists just thinking also big thing, we should come with the newspaper, get you out and your friend out, even like a former MP, this kind of thing. My friend who are from my Dharma Club just come very normal plan, very interesting. She drive a car with her niece and her boyfriend, saying that now this is time for you to see the play. Can we get you out? So the military allowed me to get out, and also Arthur. And I said, no, this is not only me, my friend too. We are going to see the play, so why don't you just let us out already one day? So they let me out. And after that, people are just saying that, well, you should not get like do something, I mean, about the academic lives or something like that. So they're just saying that, okay, let's think what I want to do in terms of the academic. I didn't go to academic at that time, seriously. When people are saying that after facing the coup, we should do something else. But one thing that has changed is that my professor, who already pushed me to work with the MP and with the advisor to the Prime Minister, saying that we have an internship program to go to the US for 1 year, for around 11 to 12 months, to do legislative training, so something like that. So they come out like I have to start to be more academic. So I have to start like go back to my reading, and also we in the first 3 months we went to the San Francisco to do some kind like in the college to do English and also basic kind of training, and then we moved to Washington DC, and they have a project coordinate with the George Washington University. So, and also apart from studying, we also have to observe like a federal legislative training. And on the last 3 months, on the 9 months, we went to Madison, Wisconsin with the state legislative. And in Madison, Wisconsin, they have one motto talking about the knowledge give you the power, not the power give you knowledge, which is quite inspiring, right, with this kind of motto. But it was so cold. I mean, really cold. And people are just saying that, Naruemon, are you crazy? You're going to San Francisco in summer, then you're going to Washington, D.C. in fall, and then you go to Wisconsin in winter in the U.S. I mean, it should be a different way. I said, well, this is not decided by me. This is decided by like the organization that support me. So basically, I might be called, this is a kind like a scholar rescue fund, but not exactly scholar, activist rescue fund. So we do that. And at the time, I even met Ajahn Sulak Siwalak, because he also faced the problem on the lese majesty, because he gave the comment or interview on the newspaper about General Suchinda. So basically from February 1991, and then I go to the US around in June. From June 1991 until like April 1992, when people start forming against the military, I was not in Thailand, I'm in the US. I'm come back in May to 1992. And then if you remember the Thai political history, it's a May Massacre that we do a kind of the protest against the military. When I come back, what the people ask me to do, not to do the protest, but do some kind like observe the election. Like we organize an NGO called Poll Watch to watch the poll for the people who doing in the election. So we involve with the Poll Watch election and also involve with the people. So I know another people in terms of the network and know more of a friend. And from at the 1992, they have the issue of the May Massacre, and after 1992, people are just saying that, okay, you should go back to your, maybe cannot be activist for the rest of your life. Why don't you find something that you will be happy to work with? So I think that academic work will be the best thing that maybe suit me, because for the academic life, it will not, you don't need to follow what the boss tell you. In the parliament, you have to follow what the MP tell you, even though it's about democracy, but some MP, they are not exactly democratic mind. And in the office of the Prime Minister, even you work as an advisor, they still have many, like what you call, power negotiation, and you may not feel happy, because in many times, they don't listen to the information or knowledge. It's come from the power bargaining. So academic work will be the best way. So I apply. And in the beginning, I was not with Chulalongkorn University. I went to the university, which is a private university, the Rangsit University. So in Rangsit, they also allow you to do a lot of work. And in fact, I know Rangsit even before the coup, because in 1990, my friend who are now still teaching in Rangsit saying that they have a job for the lecturer to teach like politics and society. Would you like to apply? So I did apply. So I did two full-time jobs. which is quite generous for Rangsit to allow me to work with the Office of the Prime Minister in 1990 and then before 1991, and also asked me to do the teaching. So I'm do teaching, something like in the morning teaching and in the afternoon. My friend and other staff will give me drive a car for me from Rangsit to work with the Office of the Prime Minister. So it's quite very good for me to have like a academic job in one leg and then policy work in another leg. And even during after the coup, Rangsit also quite generous to me because they pay me for my salary and also even help me to protecting me when the police come to ask, because after the coup, the police try to the military try to find its legitimacy, and they will come to ask information for the staff, but the university quite generous to me that provide me saying that you just do your research. We give you something like academic leave, so then you can still do your own writing and you don't need to come to the office every day. So that's why it's quite very generous to me. And also when I get the internship to go to the US, the Rangsit, even is a private university, allow me to live without pay. So basically, I'm already in academic, but not by my will, but by political situation. So when I come back from the US and I go back to Rangsit University doing some kind of the teaching on the politics and society, and then move to the international program, which is this international program teaching philosophy, politics and economics, and also see some of my friends. And now he become like my long-term friend. He's become like changing from Thai expert to be Chinese expert. Right now he in LSE and doing several things on the Chinese politics, on the international relations. So it's quite interesting life at that time. But why I come to Chulalongkorn and become more and more academic, I think it just come back like after we did in working in Rangsit University. But the problem in the private university in Rangsit is that they don't consider political science as a subject from the market. So basically, I have to teach what we call general education, which is we saying that, oh, it's just like we do the play. You have the microphone, you have the spotlight, and you have like a 700 audience, and you speak on the floor. So it's not exactly like a deep in the subject. So I'm thinking like, okay, I should change. If I want to be the academic, should change from general education from the private university to be more like a specific knowledge, like a faculty of political science. So I got my scholarship from the British Evening to do my MA in the UK, in the University of Leeds, and also continue to do PhD in the University of Leeds. I went to the UK in 1996, and if we remember 1997 is the Tom Yam Kung crisis, which is the problem with the Thai currency. So I did my MA in 1996 and finished that in July 1997. And if we remember the situation of Thailand is that the 2nd of July or something around that, Thai devalued the baht. So in that case, I already got the scholarship to do my PhD, but they will pay for my tuition fee, not cost of living. And with the baht devalue at that level, I cannot stay in the UK. So I told my professor, like, can I defer my scholarship for another year and go back? So finally, I go back, pack my luggage from the UK back to Thailand. And then people are just saying that, are you going to be in a private university like Rangsit? And at that time, thanks to Chantana saying that, why don't you apply? To start to teach in Chulalongkorn, because Chulalongkorn offer like a 3 position from the faculty of political science to go to the Department of Government. So I said, okay, why not? And then so I applied at the Chulalongkorn University, and the first question is not about academic issue. because I present about I did the case on the issue of the political reform in Thailand, and so I present the case and also look at the case of the issue of the people and the Assembly of the Poor and other. So in the presentation, people ask me about how do I conduct interview and what kind of thing. But the question, the interesting question is come from one of my faculty member right now. At that time, he asked like, Ajahn, do you think that you can survive in the public university because the salary will be half that you used to receive in Rangsit? Because Chulalongkorn as a public university, we will get around 8,000. And I used to receive in Rangsit around 25,000. They said that, do you think that you can survive? Because this is, you got only MA, so we can give that only at this level. And even my friend, Warren Bello, at that time, he worked with the focus on the Global South. And he just come and joking with me saying that, Naruemon, you come here because of the prestige or not, right? Because this is not logical to change from private university that pay you with the high salary to the public university. So my answer for both of them, who are the friend and a faculty member, saying that, well, but I feel that I'm more happy to be in Chulalongkorn, not because it's the reputation or whatever, but at least I can teach the subject that I'm interested. I don't need to teach 700 students. I can teach like 15 students, and for the full department is basically we receive around 58 or 60 students. So for me, I can handle. I said that I can go to the subject matter and to be more deeper, which is also make me quite, it's true. So I become academic in Chulalongkorn University. And then it's quite very interesting because of the body value and many people asking me about the question and other. I have to work in Chulalongkorn as a new lecturer. I cannot continue to my PhD right away. So I just be here, and then my supervisor, Professor Duncan McCargo, finally he cannot tolerate. He just phoned saying that you already defer your scholarship, so we cannot keep your the defer. We should give to other people. But when you think that you can go back to the real academic world, for your study. And finally, I asked Chulalongkorn, so I go back to Liz and do my PhD, in 2000. So basically, this is kind of the story, people just push, saying that, well, maybe by chance, by destiny, by situation. But one thing that is also give me, to go back to my history, own personal history, I think that I never been regret that, okay, I'm start in the university later than other, and I'm not feeling different. Many people, they might have their idea to be the academic since their BA. I am not. But for me, it's quite interesting to make me thinking about the academic life that dealing with my political experience and social experience. And also that's why when I'm working with Chulalongkorn University, they have one project. Actually, that comes from the thing that we are talking right now with Arena. And Shantana at that time asking me, saying that, why don't you have so many kind of experience and do the research? Why don't you just start writing something? And I said, well, okay, so that's why when we do about the writing of the book with Arena at that time, look at a different case about the issue of the development. And also for me, it's not only as a subject matter based on academic, but it's also the subject that link with the issue that we have experience and also the information. So I think this is a kind quite interesting and experience. Yeah.
Thank you.